happy are we that daylight savings is over? Because
it has to pass the Senate first.
And well, no, I meant like right now is over.
I thought you meant
but
like
also very excited about that. Brenda texted the group chat, and I was like, I didn't even know that was like a proposal thing, but that is so fucking exciting.
Yeah.
It took me years to even understand how it fucking worked. Like, I was like, why are y'all changing the fucking time? Like, back home, our president changed the fucking time, but that's just because he was a psychopath and like a dictator. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to change the time. So in my head, I was like, why are we changing times here too? What's happening? Are we declining too? I know. I got like exist. PTSD. I was like, what's going on? Is this like a power move?
Time doesn't exist, first of all.
And then I was like, no, I get why you'll do it. It's just stupid. And I love that they were also like, we just need to change it because everybody gets fucking depressed. And like, we can't, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, this is
I know that daylight savings started like in the beginning of America. Like I think Benjamin Franklin was the one that proposed it or some shit.
Yeah, well, a lot of bad shit started at the beginning of America.
I'm just like, nowadays, like, for why? Like, what's the problem?
Daylight savings is just like the electoral college. You know what I mean? It's like, I get that y'all had an idea and you had
and back then it might have made sense.
And you had the power to like change it. We don't need it.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to have the same amount of sunlight throughout the day for hopefully ever now. That's if it passes the Senate, which would be fantastic, because I got to tell you, when I was in high school and I had to be like walking home at like 6 p.m. and there was no sun out, I'm like, yo,
wild.
Y'all are really bugging, because I'm about to get in like 3 fights before I get home. Just because people out here thinking it's the middle of the night, you know? Mm-hmm. So, but, you know, we'll see, because it still has to pass the Senate. Although the House,
it's just like
was unanimous, 400 and something people were like, yes,
have no
let's do this.
Good reason.
Talk about the bipartisanship that we need, like more fucking sun.
Yeah, like this is the issue that y'all decided to agree on. I'm so glad that we have our priorities straight.
Obviously,
yeah, it's like the kind of performative issue that like people can actually get behind on.
Except people this is the problem is that this is not performative.
No, it's helpful.
No. Like everybody genuinely like agrees. It's like how we were talking about Rihanna and how everybody is just unanimously happy for her. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter if you like her music. It doesn't fucking matter. Everybody is like, you know what? Good for you.
Good for you.
I'm happy for you.
Got it.
It's kind of like that. And so it's like, well, I'm glad that we can all agree on something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with it. I saw it in the morning. I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I went on Twitter and like, I thought it was like The Onion making like an article.
No.
You know what I mean? One of those things. Like, I thought it was sarcasm. I thought it was like, Congress agreed finally for but the bipartisanship that we needed is like more sun or whatever. And I thought it was like silly headlines that the Onion was. No, but it was legit. Yeah. I was like, man, we live in an alternate universe for sure. Like, for sure. But I watched our last episode back. And then since then, I was like, are the gas prices affecting you guys' road rage?
No. No, it's affecting my regular rage.
Regular rage.
Yeah, I had to get gas at $4.50 a gallon the other day.
Where?
Well, to be fair, I had run out of gas and I was in the Galleria area.
Oh. You were in Uptown?
And so, you know, like, obviously gas, it was like a Chevron. So I was definitely scammed out of that money. But still, like, the cheapest I found is $3.99, which is just $4.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm driving a fucking minivan.
Yeah.
You know, like, I haven't gotten my car back. It's awful. I was like, bitch, my mom used to hint the bombero because in Venezuela, like, obviously we had, like, you have people to, like, pump the gas for you.
Yeah.
It's like, you would give him $5 and he would have a tip. I was like, send me back.
Yeah. Well, in Venezuela, for sure, because Venezuela has a lot of oil, right?
We have the biggest oil reserve in the world.
Yeah. Y'all just over here just chilling, sitting on it, just for no reason.
Well, actually, we've run out of oil because poor management. It's a long story. So we actually don't, well, not run out of oil, but we don't have, America right now is producing more, or like, what's
more usable petroleum. Yeah. Because it's not crude oil is not usable.
Than any other country right now, I think, actually.
Really?
Maybe.
Well, definitely more than Venezuela, which I was like, yo, we used to sell this fucking barrel for so much money to the gringos, and look at them now.
To the gringos.
They're running fucking circles around us.
Yeah.
It is
Except it's
honestly
also
tragic.
right now it also costs also the hypocrisy that there's like a fucking war over there somewhere and people are like, you see, like we should have fucking like I bet you want Trump back now that the fucking gas is high. And I'm like,
No.
first of all, that's not how gas prices work.
Number one, that's not how gas prices works. Number two, no, we don't. Who told you that?
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of
Bitch, I'll
bullshit.
pay $5 a gallon. I don't give a fuck.
And yeah, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Not drive?
For real.
Like I got places to go. Let's say New York. Like, you know,
For real.
Paying more for gas or being hate crimed. I don't know. What could be, what would be my choice?
we pick our battles over here, and
Like,
we'll pay a little bit more for gas.
Y'all
That's
have
fine.
different priorities again.
Yeah, 1,000%. Although the really interesting thing that I saw, which I don't think we need to pull at that string, but just to let it sit in the back of your mind, is I saw that retrospectively speaking, not saying that this was the right decision or vice versa. Retrospectively speaking, there was supposedly a pipeline that was supposed to pass through Europe or some shit I don't know Europe politics like that, but apparently there was one that was supposed to go through like Germany, and it was supposed to make like a little bit more sustainability for like Europe oil, and like make Europe more dependent on its on like self-sustainable instead of like not like completely, but like more, right? And the environmentalists in Europe shut it down, like because they protested it and this and that and blah blah blah, blah this and that. So there was like a thing that I read. I don't know if it was an article or it was like a Twitter thread of like this columnist or whatever that said like, had that happened, we would not be dependent on
Russia
Russia oil right now. Therefore, the gas prices globally would have been more or less provoked than what they are right now.
Wow.
Because we were going to need that oil anyway. It's not like we could have gone without oil, period. We have to wean off of it if we're ever going to get to like clean energy or whatever. So they were like, had like essentially the left not protested for that pipeline, then said pipelines, whatever it was, would have created less dependency on Eastern Europe, and essentially not like cornered us when it came to this specific war. Which again, retrospectively speaking, like historically, it's like, all right, well, it's kind of a moot point, but it doesn't.
It's
it
kind of like
does,
I get it, and I'm like, wow, interesting. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so they couldn't tell the fucking future. Move on.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't fix the fucking problem.
But it just goes to show that like, because the world, especially when it comes to economics and like natural resources and goods, public goods that people like need, it can seem in the moment as like a right issue or like a left issue, but it can really affect you. It really affect globally a lot of things that are going on, because we're so, going back to the last episode, we are, especially on this side of the world, we are so entitled that we don't know what it takes to get our lights on. We don't know what it takes to like have these kinds of things be just like a natural commodity that we can just be like, you know what I mean? Whereas like in other parts of the world, it could be a little bit more complicated.
Well, and also we don't get like the insight on it. Like there's nothing like, there's no point. How am I trying to say this? There's like no source specifically that we all get to be like, oh, we learned about this and now I know how this works, Yeah. And so we usually just get to adulthood just being like, I don't fucking know. Like, I know that that's not how gas prices work, but I don't know how they do work. So
I have heard more things about gas in the past fucking week and a half than ever before. And I'm just like, can we stop? Because
I'm so
annoyed.
I'm saying this because I feel like I understand that side, because I feel like it's the side of the complainers, and I love to complain.
Got it. So you're inner,
and
like,
that is like a very valid reason to complain. You know what I mean? Because you can complain about anything, but sometimes it's like you gotta pick your battles. It's like, I'm not gonna complain extensively about most things because most things don't really matter that much. But gas, like you said, what am I going to do? Not fucking drive? No. So now Brenda keeps texting us being like, I just spent $70 on gas. $70. Do you know how fucking much you can do with $70?